The business of medicine is constantly changing. The review by Resolve discusses current contract issues for physicians, compensation trends, and tips for a successful career. Every physician's contract and career is different, and nothing in this episode should be considered legal advice. If you have specific questions about your career, please consult with an attorney. Now, on to the show.
Okay, welcome back to the review. We're here again with Zach Beare, health law attorney with Resolve. We are going to talk today about AI. AI in the process of contract reviews, how AI can assist attorneys, just some thoughts on, is AI as good as an attorney? Is it not, right? Kind of the problems that we see with it, the benefits that we see with it, right? There's pros and cons on this. So I want to zoom out for everybody that's listening. One of the things that we do at Resolve, we have an instant review, right? An AI that we've trained specifically. I know I have clients that come in that have run their contract through a ChatGPT or Claude or, some of these other, AI systems that are out there. Zach, give me your high level takeaway on what AI is doing, how it's helpful, how it's maybe dangerous at the same time. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely becoming more common where we see our clients running it through outside programs. ChatGPT is the big one now.
Yep.
I feel like it does an okay job spotting some issues. I feel like it doesn't interpret the language correctly in certain situations. I think it's fine for just a basic review, or if you want to run it through an AI system and kind of just get a general understanding of what's in this contract, it's fine for that.
Yeah.
But I think if you want a higher level understanding, it's always good to get an attorney involved.
Yeah. So because clients will email me, right? They'll say, hey, this is what I got back from ChatGPT. And I think, these broad-based AIs are going to just, they're searching the internet, right? They're searching for information out there. They're going to try to summarize it for you. And they do an okay job on big kind of normal, right? Like they might say, hey, there's a non-compete in it, or hey, there's, this paragraph talks about your compensation. I think the one thing that we've found to be different is that the inputs and the data that you're giving, right, the AI, are extremely important. And so when we talk about our instant review and how that's distinguished from a ChatGPT, is that, with 10,000 plus contracts that are running through the AI, it's getting trained on very specific questions that we think are important, but also it gets, really good at spotting the things that are important for physicians in their employment. Have you had, I know that I've had this, and I guess I'm hoping you've had the same experience. Have you had the ChatGPT, the AIs be wrong on issues where it's spotting something, but it's only identifying partial, issues, or it's just saying, hey, this is, a paragraph that it's identified and it's just not there?
Yeah, I feel like for the non-competes, it sometimes will red flag it and say, oh, there's no non-compete included. But if there's no non-compete, you're not agreeing to anything. So that's a good thing. I feel like for outside activities during the term of your employment, there might be some type of prior written approval restriction where you have to go through the employer, get it approved before you can engage in those outside activities. And it might spot that and say, oh, this is a non-compete, where in reality, it's not. It's just a restriction during your employment, and there's nothing afterwards.
Yeah.
So I've seen it spot these issues, but be kind of mistaken about what it says.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen it just pick up on words throughout the employment agreement where it's maybe highlighting certain areas that are important, but it's not interpreting what it's actually saying correctly.
Yeah, I think that's the takeaway that I would give to anybody listening to this is I think, it can do a good job of educating you, right, and spotting high-level issues. If you've never seen a contract before, great, right? It's maybe a starting spot for you, but it doesn't have any industry-specific insights. It doesn't know what, a certain employer has done in the past with their contract. It doesn't know, how your compensation should relate to the most recent data sets that are out there. And so I think it's a helpful starting spot. When you're, utilizing it as an educational tool, right? And like our instant review, for example, do clients want to run through all of that when they're engaging with an attorney, or are they hoping that you're providing higher level services than what an AI would do?
I think they're always hoping you're providing higher level services, where I think they're using it as guidance, and it's kind of an initial review before maybe our conversation, and then we'll go through those items a little bit more thoroughly. But I think it's good for information. It's good as a brief understanding. But then if you want more specifics, you want to get into the details a little bit further. I think it's always helpful having that call and conversation.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the way that I would view it is, just like AI in medicine, right? It's supposed to help, right? It's supposed to make you practice at your highest level, right? And take some of that education piece off of your plate. But it's also, they're not, if you're engaging with an attorney, right, or you're going to want some help with negotiation, AI is not going to do that for you. And it's also, I think, dangerous to rely on something that can hallucinate. I mean, we've seen AIs say, governing law is this state when it's completely wrong, right? And so I think there's risk in that. And there's also a component of, I can go out and watch YouTube. I can run things through any AI and say, hey, like, tell me about this, right? Tell me about a cataract surgery, right? For example, it doesn't mean I know how to then fix it, right? And so it's that's the part that I think is also lacking, and having that understanding is really important on. So I guess with that as the kind of the takeaway, good for education, not as good for kind of the other components. Any other takeaways that you want to give to the listeners on this?
No, I think our AI, obviously, we've trained it to be more specific to physician employment contracts or healthcare employment contracts. So I think it's trained in a manner that helps it spot these issues a little bit better than a broad AI format or engine, if you want to say. But I still feel like it maybe picks up, it over flags, or it doesn't spot the issues as correctly as it should. So there's still, minor issues with any AI, even if it's specifically trained. But
I think that's the customization piece, right? I mean, when we are talking with clients on contract review, anything that we're recommending is going to be specific to their situation, right? And so you can have 50 plus issues flagged, right? And they all may be there, but only 5 might be important to you, and we might even tell you that only 3 are going to get changed with this employer because of past experience. And so I think it helps the clients and the physicians come across in a more professional manner, right? Being educated, good faith asks, rather than just painting this picture of I've got 50 issues and I have to have the employer address all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming on and talking about AI.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.